Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, project, you live as a champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage, SmackDown. Hold the title, this is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now. Yes, you've made it. You've arrived. You are here for the greatest podcast on earth, Wrestling with Savage Weekly Update, the WWE edition. What's going on, Steven Chambers and everybody else in the Savage Kingdom? How are you tonight? Hopefully you're all doing very well. You're all coming off watching NXT, having a good time on a Tuesday night, and there is a lot to talk about. I mean, a lot. Besides the fact that WrestleMania is coming up in just a few weeks. Just a few weeks. I mean, WrestleMania, it's here. We wait all year long for this, and it is finally here. The road to WrestleMania. We're building up on it, and that's why we're watching all these shows. That's why we're watching SmackDown on Friday nights, which, by the way, has been like dominating the ratings and honestly dominating the storytelling. And it's simple. When you have The Rock and Roman Reigns coming on to respond, to everything going on with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. And let's bring Jay in here. What's going on, Jay?
What's going on, Mr. Savage? How are you?
Good, man. A lot to talk about, man. A lot to talk about. WWE, in my opinion, for me,
a lot of news.
It's a road to WrestleMania.
A lot of news. Sting retired.
Well, who cares about Sting? Unless you're Michael Cole.
That's the news. That's the news right now.
This is WWE time. This isn't time for Sting. Sting didn't retire. He's going to have another match next year.
They announced it. Stop.
Who cares about Sting right now when we can talk about The Rock and Roman Reigns, who responded to Cody Rhodes with a challenge, with a counteroffer, basically challenging them to a tag team match. And I want to know, Jay, what do you think about this? I mean, we kind of knew it was going that way. It looks like it's going to be a night one main event with, in your opinion, first of all, do you think this is the greatest team in the history of the WWE right here? Is that the best thing we're ever going to see ever?
No, I think we'll see something truly more special. And I think there's been truly more special moments in tag team than this. I'm just going to say this. There was a lot to unpack here. Let's face it. This was a very long segment. I think it was like 33, 35 clock, which kind of messed.
They took their time. They took their time.
And it messed up everybody else's time that followed after this. So tough luck to them. They had to put an audible.
You gotta learn how to.
We finally got Savage. What we all said in all the Savage Kingdom. They said a tag team match between the two teams. Am I interested in it? No, I'd rather just have the one-on-one. But I get it. A lot to unpack here. Let's not forget Rock acknowledged Roman Reigns as the tribal chief. A very big moment because that just tells us they're on the same page. Especially when he gave him the finally The Rock, and he said what the bloodline is cooking. That was huge. So we should expect Seth and Cody to come next Friday and see what their response is.
What did you think about Roman Reigns grabbing The Rock's hand right here and basically?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say this, Savage, and tell me if this makes sense. But call me crazy, but it's us. It's because of us. Because of what we do, what we say. Social media is very powerful, Savage. And I think if you compare last week's promo segment or the last time these guys got in the ring and cut a promo, you could tell that Roman Reigns was a different person. Roman Reigns was a confident person, smiling and smirking and agreeing with The Rock. Yeah, I did whip Cody's ass last year. Now we see a different, and you've seen it when it started with the facial expressions by Roman Reigns. You saw it right off the top. So you knew something was already different when it came in. Do I like it? Yeah, it's telling me both guys are on the same page, and we'll see what happens when Cody and Seth come next Friday.
Yeah, you could 100% see the confidence difference between this week and last week. Roman coming out here actually being able to stand next to The Rock and actually being present and making him acknowledge him. All powerful stuff. And
Let's
just
not
like
forget what Stephen Chambers said on the chat.
I was just about to bring that up right now.
Right. He's absolutely right. Go ahead, Savage.
Yeah, these guys, basically The Rock laid down the challenge saying, if you guys, beat us, Cody, you get your fair match against Roman Reigns on Sunday. But if we beat you, all hell is breaking loose on Sunday. Bloodline rules will be at ringside, and we're going to guarantee you're not going to finish any story. But there's a lot to unpack here because what's going to happen at WrestleMania? There's one of two scenarios as far as Rock and Roman are concerned. Either they're going to be on the same page, and then they're going to go on to defeat Clown Show Rollins, as The Rock likes to call him, and Cody Rhodes. Or they're going to lose because they didn't stay on the same page, because something happened that caused some friction. And Cody and Seth able to pick up the win, and then, of course, that's going to lead to a match between The Rock and Roman. I'm sure it's going to lead to a moment at night 2 where The Rock's going to come out and maybe try to cause Roman to lose that title. And I think that would be the better scenario if he comes out and does try to cause Roman Reigns to lose, because then everyone in the building will be like, oh shit, Cody's about to win. Cody's going to win. Then next thing you know, boom, the rest of the bloodline shows up. You get maybe a Jacob Fatu. Maybe you get a Zilla. Maybe you get Alpha Jr. Somebody should come out and demolish The Rock on behalf of Roman Reigns to even the odds. Because especially if the loss goes down on Sunday, family's going to know, oh, man, Rock's not happy. He lost at WrestleMania, and it was because of Roman. He's going to cost him the title on Sunday. We got to go defend Roman Reigns. There's so much storytelling that can happen here. I hope they don't make it as black and white as what they do sometimes, where it's just simple scenarios. I hope there's more complexity to this storyline.
I just have to disagree with your take because, the stipulation is, if they win, Cody and Seth, there's no bloodline in the whole.
Yes, bloodline members that are part of the active roster, though, like guys that are known as part of the faction. If Jacob Fatu comes out, he's not officially part of the bloodline.
He's still blood because you know why, Savage? His name was on the chart, and you cannot use these players. I get it. But it has to be somebody. What about a Tama Tonga? Now Tama Tonga is supposedly signed with WWE. Now we all know what he's about. Great New Japan. I think he stole the show in Wrestle Kingdom. What if you use him? He's not bloodline.
Well, the way I say it, then The Rock and Roman need to win the match just so they can stack the deck against Cody that much more, because then that makes the match more interesting on Sunday, because everyone's like, damn, Cody, there's no way Cody's going to win. But if he wins, he's like a god. But at least if he loses, it's because the deck was just stacked against him. Other blind members come out.
Can we agree here that Cody will win night 1, but will lose night 2?
I don't know yet, man. I'm actually hoping they stack the deck against him, just because I think it's better for the story. And like you said, with your point, if The Rock and Roman win, we can get all hell breaking loose, more bloodline members showing up.
They can't let Cody go 2 losses in a row. They got to give him a win. I just think the tag team is the win. I don't think he wins the big one.
I think Steven's making the smartest sense here. We just have to wait and see until WrestleMania.
I'm calling it. I'm calling my shot right now.
I believe Haku is part of the bloodline, man. I'm pretty sure Haku is part of Haku. Come on.
Yeah, we get who Haku is, but
can we say also congratulations to Paul Heyman?
Oh, if you want to bring it up now, why not?
Yeah, I'll bring it up now. To me, I mean, they announced it on Raw. It went on social media early, and everybody knew around the afternoon time, and everybody was obviously giving him his flowers, well-deserved. Ryback chimed in, said he's a piece of shit, but, I guess he fits right into the Hall of Fame, but who cares what Ryback has to say? Listen, as far as I'm concerned, Paul Heyman, from the age of 13 till today, has given his entire life to professional wrestling, and he did whatever he had to do to get to where he is. He did exactly what he had to do. Maybe he didn't start ECW, but he sure as shit bought it and took it over and took it to places they never thought possible. He took ECW and turned it into Vince McMahon's playground. Let's be honest about it. He turned it into the WWF's breeding ground for future superstars, and we got a lot of great guys out of it. We got one of the best tag teams of all time out of it, the Dudley Boys. We got one of the best singles competitor of all time out of it in Rob Van Dam. And many other legends, Raven, Sandman, I can go on and on. The ECW invasion angle, all of it was money storytelling. Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, I can go on and on. Paul Heyman's imprint on this business is almost as big as a McMahon or a Hunter Hearst Helmsley at this point, if not even bigger. I mean, the guy headlined the last 10 WrestleManias almost with his clients, Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns. What other manager can say that?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Maybe Bobby the Brain Heenan, but he didn't headline no 10 WrestleManias or whatever it is. Not even close. Not even close.
Well, I'm going to say this. I know everybody talks about ECW. That's going to be the big theme right there because it's in Philly.
That's the question.
We got to go way back to what Paul Heyman, how he got into business. You know, just sneaking in, pretending he's a photographer, WWF and Vince McMahon Sr., and just going from there into hitting the road with The Undertaker before The Undertaker was Undertaker. I mean, this guy's been around with legends. He's been around with the greats. He has learned the business. He has learned the booking side. We all seen his creativity during the SmackDown run when it was #1, when he was taking over as creative writer. We all know what he could do with talent. Nobody in the world would have thought CM Punk would be the biggest superstar because nobody saw that in him. Only Paul Heyman. Let's bring that to the fact. Let's bring the fact that Paul Heyman got Stone Cold Steve Austin's confidence back after he was fired from WCW. Let's go back to when Paul Heyman was managing Stone Cold Steve Austin before he was Stone Cold. I mean, this guy has truly done it all. It is truly special what he's made out of wrestlers like your names, such as RVD, the Dudley Boys, Sabu, Raven, you name the Savage. He has made stars out of people. And I know there's negativity out there. I know people like, oh, you know, he lies, he this, and we all know the stories. We all saw the A&Es. But at the end of the day, all I say is business. That's how it's done. So whether you like it or not, this guy truly had an impact on the business.
Man, I didn't even know Michael Cole was saying on Raw. This guy was coming backstage, just keeping us up till the middle of the night, telling us how to get better on commentary, how to teaching us how to tell better stories. If it wasn't for Paul Heyman, Michael Cole probably wouldn't have the same position he has right now. Probably would have been fired years ago because he was terrible at his job when he first started. But look what Heyman did to him. Turned him into maybe the best color commentary guy in the world. Paul Heyman, nothing but flowers. Well deserved. We love you. We might even have to do a tribute episode to your Hall of Fame induction. The Rock again looking like absolute hot fire, showing everyone what a WWE superstar should look like. And I loved how this guy went above and beyond the Attitude Era to calling everybody crackheads,
more crack,
meth heads. I mean, he was going in. He was going in. I mean, I think he apologized on social media.
Yeah, he did. I don't know why, but
I wouldn't have. Yeah, he probably got some nasty. Probably got some nasty backlash. I mean, he's got a lot of obligations now.
It was funny though.
You got to give him credit. I mean, to be on the board of directors for a multi-billion-dollar company and then still have the balls to go out there and just call people crackheads and meth heads, not even care. He is the boss. Only the boss could do something like that. God damn, man. Rock looks good. Bloodline looks good. They probably never looked stronger going into WrestleMania 40. But now let's get into Tiffany Stratton, who's out here defeating former WWE Women Champions like it's nothing. Just nothing. And I told you, Jay, I told you a long time ago, I took one look at her. What did I tell you the first time I saw her? I told you. I said, that is a future legend. She has the look. She has the movement. She has the mindset. Everything. She is perfection. And it's great to see her on SmackDown doing her thing.
I'm going to say this. Finally, she hits a moonsault that landed perfectly. I will give her credit on that. This is probably her best TV match to give, especially coming off with the Elimination Chamber. She's on fire, what I call it. Two wins in a row, especially coming off of Naomi, a former champion. That says a lot. But if I was a Naomi fan, which Naomi did great here, let's not forget she used the heat sinker that MJF used to finish on Tiffany Stratton. I think she should use that moving forward. But overall, Naomi did a great performance. She's a former champion, and now she's come back to the company, leaving with fire because she left the company, and then she won the TNA Women's Championship, and then she comes back, and she's being booked as a mid-carder. If I was a Naomi fan, I'm not feeling the glow. The glow's not there.
There is no glow right now. You're taking L's with NXT superstar and Tiffany Stratton, who is no longer NXT superstar. She's making it plain and clear. She is a WWE superstar. She's out here kicking ass.
Just think about it. A former champion that just came back lost to a rookie.
Meanwhile, you have Andrade out here just squashing people. You got Sean Spears out here squashing people. Naomi comes back and she's taking L's to Tiffany Stratton. Well, this is clear that they bring her back as an enhancement talent. That's simple. She's here to make the other woman look better.
So bad.
Get used to it. Get used to it. Get used to it. Get used to Tiffany Stratton. She's going to run this place. She's going to run this place.
Exactly. All she's done is lost.
Another guy that's going to run this place. Braun Breaker defeating Zion, Quinn, Jay. Okay. But I got Jay, hold on. Hold on. Shush for a moment. I'll let you have your say. I'm proud of your boy, though, Jay. Your boy's on SmackDown getting his ass kicked by one of the best in the business, Braun Breaker, who's out here making all those guys at the NFL Combine look like a joke with how fast he's running the ring, going 35 miles an hour, hitting this guy with a spear. You can see the soul leaving out of Zion Quinn's body. Go ahead, Jay. What you got for Mr. Zion Quinn?
This guy, I said, is the future. And boy, he is in the future of 2024. Oh, yeah. This guy started in November 2018. He is still with the company. I thought he was gone. I thought the greatest rugby wing star was gone from the company. He is not. He is in there. Now, I'm going to refresh everybody's mind because everybody's into the Cody. We want Cody to finish the story.
Finish the story, Cody.
I'm going to remind everybody. Last year, there was a draft. And you know who was in the draft? Zion Quinn. And you know what Zion Quinn was in the draft? He was a free agent. That means he could go anywhere. He could go to Raw. He could go on NXT. He could go Level Up. He could go on SmackDown. He could go anywhere he wants. And I'm glad that, yes, this was his debut as a free agent. He lost in 6 seconds. But he is still with the company, especially when veterans like Dolph Ziggler have been in the company for over 10 plus years, and he got released. This guy hasn't even been there for 10 years. He hasn't even been on TV, and he's still with the company. I am impressed with Zion Quinn. Braun Breaker's explosive. I'm telling you, he's going to be a future main event WrestleMania player. But Jesus, it's good and glad to see Zion Quinn.
Yeah, glad to see him. He's headed straight to the bottom of the map. Braun Breaker's spears are so hard at him.
I hear that trash.
We're gonna have to wait and see if he gets released. And Khalib, we're going to.
Not excited, Kayla. Why are you not excited for Zion Quinn?
Hold on. Come on, Jay. We're trying to do a show here, man. What's your personal, emotional? I know you want to take this guy to.
He's still with the company. Look it up. He's a free agent. He'll go anywhere he wants.
You're in love with this guy. Well, you should become his agent and his manager.
Yeah, I should. Should I tell you he was a great rugby player?
Yeah, great rugby player. Dakota Kai shockingly turned her back on Bailey against the Kabuki Warriors. And what are we doing with this, though? Back and forth. Now I'm your friend. Now I'm your not. Now I'm your friend. She's probably going to hug her again next week. What the hell's going on here? And you know what? It's better off that they're all against her, though.
You see,
because if Bailey's going to win this, Jay, it's better if she has the whole deck.
Here's the thing. They were slow playing this, and they pulled the trigger too fast. That's what I think. I think they pulled the trigger way too fast on Dakota Kai to just turn, and we're not even remotely close to WrestleMania. Think about it.
Well, I think Bailey's going to win at WrestleMania regardless. I see this.
They could have slow played it. They could have slow played it.
But you know what?
2 more weeks.
To me,
the betrayal.
To me, they already decimated her run and road to WrestleMania by not pushing her harder, not putting her on posters.
Beginning of the month, man. We have a whole month and 3-4 days
Shut
left.
your stupid ass up because you don't understand what I'm talking about. In Las Vegas, when they did the biggest press conference in the history of the company's existence,
they messed up. It was because of us.
Well, it wasn't because of us. It was because of them. We didn't.
This here was so fast. Oh, go ahead.
Listen, we didn't pick her as the winner of the Royal Rumble. They did. She won the Royal Rumble. That's your girl. You need to be pushing her just like you're pushing Rhea Ripley.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Now, I know we're happy and everybody's focused on the Cody Rock story and Roman. But can we say that the woman, and excuse my language, got shitted on this year, especially Bayley having one of the best years? And now she's not even main eventing night 1 or night 2. Can we talk
knew that?
Can we talk about how women got crap this year in WrestleMania?
Yeah.
True. It's true. No woman is main eventing WrestleMania this year.
Well, that's because The Rock's here, so you can thank him. He's stealing both nights of WrestleMania.
Should we?
Yeah, what do you mean? He's the main event night 1, and Roman is the main event night 2. End of story. There's not even a discussion. Jay, let me hear in what universe. Let's say you were representing the woman, and you're in the boardroom with The Rock, with Triple H, with let's hypothetically say Vince.
Okay.
Let's say hypothetically Vince and Paul Heyman's there, and a couple other nerds and creative little tools. Okay. What's your pitch? What's your pitch to convince them to put Bayley on one of the main events or Rhea Ripley on one of the main events, as opposed to The Rock and Roman and Cody?
You got to think about it. Rhea Ripley had one of the best years. Becky Lynch has been on.
And that's exactly what they would do to his ass. They would cut his stupid ass off and say, shut the hell up. The Rock is main eventing WrestleMania.
See?
That's what would happen.
When I speak the truth, I get cut off. It's okay.
That's what they would do to you, though. They don't want to hear the truth.
Okay.
They want to hear
They're hearing
numbers.
Us. Everything changed.
You know what they're hearing? They're hearing
us.
The Rock's Instagram following. That's what they're hearing. Trust me on that.
So sad for women, though.
Slap across the face. Dakota over here. I'll give credit. Dakota looking good, though. I think a bad guy suits her better. She looks good when the Kabuki Warriors and the WWE Women's Champion Io Sky are holding Bayley down.
That don't matter, Steven Chambers and Rhea Ripley had main evented.
And yes, hold on. Let's have a moment.
Story.
Let's have a moment.
Becky Lynch.
Jay, the most disrespectful person you're ever going to meet in your life. He's worse than me. Let's have a moment of silence for Virgil, who passed away this week, starting now. Virgil is a good friend of Marty Jannetty's. This coming week, me and Marty are going to try to do a tribute show for Virgil on the Party with Marty podcast. And at the same time, we're also going to do it's going to be like a Virgil tribute and a Sting tribute, where Marty's going to share some of his stories with the icon Sting. He's going to share his stories with Virgil.
We could cut the Sting part. Let's just go straight to it. Yeah, we should. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
There's a lot of things going on this week in wrestling.
A lot of embarrassment this week in wrestling.
Yeah, he was only 61, man, but he was in bad shape, unfortunately. And,
he had cancer surgery.
Someone told me that he's going in the Hall of Fame this year, which is terrible.
I don't know. I doubt that because it's in Philly. They're doing a whole ECW thing.
Yeah, I don't
want to know who'll be next. I'm confused. I don't know.
We're gonna have to wait and see. But rest in peace to Virgil. You're resting easy now, big dog. He was funny. If you ever met him at the conventions, he was super funny. He had his moment. My man headlined not WrestleMania, but he headlined Madison Square Garden against Ted DiBiase. You know.
Yeah, he did have dementia.
So. That itself is an accomplishment. Rey Mysterio returned as Carlito defeated Santos Escobar in a street fight. I hate this, and I hate this with a passion. Dom, Dirty Dom, where are you? Get out here and get control of your father. Why the hell is your dad back on TV? Take his ass and tell him to go home, take care of his wife, take care of his kids, and for what? So you can defeat Santos Escobar, who's more talented than you.
I mean, Yeah, I'm going to talk about the match. It was fun. I got into it, but I think you needed a Rey Mysterio to bring this kind of life to other people that didn't like it. Maybe you didn't like it, and Rey Mysterio got a huge pop. I mean, let's face it.
No, these guys are all phenomenal in the ring. Every one of these guys is a prime time.
Yeah, it was fun, but it was spot fest, but it was fun. And, Rey got a big pop, and I was excited too when I saw Rey, Do I like the story? No, I agree with you. It's trash, but it looks like this is going to be on WrestleMania.
Yeah, Dom is getting married within a week or two. Probably why he doesn't care about his dad running wild on SmackDown. See, what I would like is if this storyline was like never ending. Like every time we see Rey Mysterio, Dom comes out and just shits on him.
I'm over that already.
I'm not over it, man. The father-son can never end. He hates his dad. He needs to hate his dad. I want to see hatred.
I'm a best father, man. I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
But Rey Mysterio, look at him go, man. He's still going strong, man. Still going.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
We move on to Randy Orton defeating Austin Theory. By the way, I think this is our record for the longest we've ever talked about an episode of SmackDown.
Yeah, because there was a lot to uncover.
Yeah, bro, this match, by the way, I saw this match, and watching this match is like seeing a preview of WrestleMania 42 or 43.
Oh, my God. That's how you took it?
Yo, Theory's a primetime player, man.
Yeah, he's a primetime player doing bad spots. I'll tell you.
I don't care. The
blockbuster was pure trash, and that superplex wasn't even a superplex. I'm surprised they even called it a superplex.
That's him being a little. I think that's him being a little too timid because he's in the ring with Randy Orton.
Do me a favor, take this guy off TV. All right, take him off TV, repackage him because he's already a loser. And this is not his first loss.
Listen, just because he's losing matches doesn't mean he's a loser. Austin Theory is one of the most gifted.
It was a nice finish, but that doesn't mean he was a nice match.
Dude, that might be the best RKO we've seen in years.
That was the only thing this guy pulled out of his ass in the match. He was supposed to wrestle for like 8 minutes, and he couldn't even do 8 minutes. I'm worried about Austin Theory. You're not.
Again, I'll say this. I think, in my opinion, being in the ring with someone like Randy Orton, who probably Theory loves to death. Theory is probably a big fan of Randy Orton deep inside. He won't admit it.
Loves Stone Cold. He does.
He might love Randy. I think he loves Randy Orton. I think he loves Randy Orton. Monday Night Raw. We'll move on to Monday Night Raw. Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins prepared to confront The Rock and Roman Reigns on SmackDown to address the Bloodline's high-stakes WrestleMania challenge. Jay, I'll let you take the floor on this one. How did this opening segment of Monday Night Raw hit you?
Yeah, it was another long segment, man. I think this was like 25, 30 minutes. I mean, Jesus. It took 25, 30 minutes to get to the point of going to SmackDown Friday. Jesus Christ. I think the problem with creative is that they kind of drag things a little too long in the promo segment wise. We saw it Friday and now we see it here. I'm not saying it's bad. This was bad or this was not great. It was good. There was one thing that was a huge miss, which I think everybody will remember for the rest of their lives, including Savage. And you may disagree with me with this, or maybe the whole Savage Kingdom or anybody that's watching this. But the Diarrhea Dwayne line was really a big miss. It was a huge miss. It didn't even go with me. I don't know why half of those San Antonio, Texas idiots were even saying that. It was just really bad. It didn't really connect. I get what they're trying to do here, Savage. They're trying to make us hate The Rock, so they're taking their shots. It's well appreciated. But that Diarrhea Dwayne line, that was a big miss for me in this whole promo.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. The promo to me didn't do much. It would have been better off to leave them off of Raw and just let them show up on SmackDown and give their answer there. It would have been better off to have like a short segment or maybe a video clip of them two having a phone call. And they're like, you know what? Let's think about this. I think we should just meet on Friday. I'll see you at SmackDown. And like, end it. That's it. And then there you give everybody else more time to have the platform. These guys don't need the platform if they're not having a match. I don't always want to see these 40-minute long promos, number one, unless it's from The Rock. Like Steven Chambers said, this Friday, we're probably going to see a 40-minute promo. But no one's going to care because it's going to be good. It's going to be good because the person involved in it is better than everyone in the ring at promos. The Rock is the best promo in the business. Still, he's better than MJF. You know why? Because MJF's not the boss of WWE.
Not even on TV.
Not even on TV. Seth freaking Rollins. I don't think he's going to have a good WrestleMania this year. Unfortunately, I think he's going to lose to Drew McIntyre. But we'll talk about that later tonight. We're going to see Seth yet again. Gunther defeats Dirty Dom. Obviously, we knew that was going to happen. What did you think of the match, though? The match wasn't bad, right?
It was fun. It made me laugh, especially when he chopped him for the first time. I love this. I thought it was a fun match. It was great. And you know what's crazy? That the fans were cheering for Gunther. That's even the crazier part. They wanted him. They wanted him chopped. And I was laughing every bit of it.
Dom get his ass kicked.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun match.
I thought this was one of Dom's better performances. Great match.
Yeah, you can say that.
With one of the best ring competitors in the business. Hell of an experience to add to your resume. A young resume, by the way. But Dom's looking good out there, man. He's getting so much heat that the next best heel is getting cheered for. That's the way it should be. How good is Gunther, though?
It's shame Dom won't be at WrestleMania.
You gotta admit, I mean, Gunther's vertical ability to get his body that high in the air for that drop kick is a sight to behold, man. Guys that big.
T-Rex suplex.
Guys,
T-Rex drop kick. Excuse me, T-Rex drop kick.
Guys that big should not be able to jump that high. But Gunther, of course, wins the match, and we'll keep it moving on Monday Night Raw. JD McDonough comes out. Chambers believes JD deserves to be fired for not helping Dom. Yeah, maybe. But JD got himself in this match. We're going to talk about it in a little bit. We got to talk about it. Shayna Baszler, Zoe Starks defeated Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. And, of course, this is going to qualify them for a tag team opportunity. And to me, I'm glad that Chance and Carter are up here now, but we need more women's tag teams. I've said this before. I'll say it again. These are like your two primary tag teams in the WWE right now for women. The other two tag teams are in limbo. Natty and Tegan Knox aren't on the same page. Chelsea Green definitely not on the same page anymore with her tag team partner. All right. What's the other one? Candice LeRae and your girl that you love so much. Indy Hartwell. Yeah. They're definitely not on the same page. So you have like 3 or 4 other teams. None of them are on the same page. So you're just sacrificing Dakota Kai and Chance and their image, which was they came from NXT as badasses. And now they're just straight up getting abused by Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks, and rightfully so.
I'll say this, that this match didn't do absolutely nothing for me, but I will say this. Chance and Carter looked way better than what they're pushing right now in Zoe Starks and Shayna Baszler. They outperformed them no matter how many minutes they got out there, and that's something to say because they've been pushing Baszler and Starks down our throats.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not getting nowhere. And it's just crazy how they had to win with the roll-up of death, which I hate. It's just crazy that they have to go that way. These girls were savage. These girls were flipping like Cirque du Soleil. They were flipping here, there, and they were connecting. While they were following a flippy move, these girls weren't doing nothing over here on the other end.
That's not their style, though. They're more ground and pound.
So they
Damage control coming out, though, making it clear that they're not going to lose those titles easily.
This was bad.
Well, they have to do something to hype up this match, right? Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark. I think this picture is worse than this picture, though.
Yeah, look at Zoe Stark. She looks lost like she is. Every time she grabs a mic, she's lost.
Do you think they're going to pull the trigger on this tag team here to be the new champs?
No.
So basically, they're just building them up to give Damage Control another feed.
I'll tell you what. We'll see them at WrestleMania.
Okay. Nia Jax defeats Becky Lynch via disqualification thanks to one of our favorites over here, Miss Liv Morgan, who can't mind her business, has to get involved, cost Becky the match. What did you think of the match, and what do you think about Liv Morgan's interjection into this?
Not only did I see Rhea Ripley try to wrestle with Nia Jax, I also see Becky Lynch trying to wrestle with a immovable refrigerator. It's just crazy that you cannot do anything with this woman right here. She is the most dangerous professional women I've ever seen in my life. Nia Jax. Now let me get to the finish. Now this makes sense. Last week Becky Lynch interfered, and Nia Jax. Now Morgan does the same in return. Am I excited to see this match between these two? I'm going to say yes. Now we also have to be careful, Savage, because Nia Jax is waiting on the other end. She just took a hit from Morgan. So what's that going to say? Next week, these two are going to fight. Nia Jax is going to come out and interfere. Maybe we could get some sort of triple threat. You got to put an obstacle through Becky Lynch before she gets to Rhea Ripley, which we will say, and I'll just move forward, that Rhea Ripley was actually laughing at Becky Lynch after all this happened in the back. So let's not forget that. You got to put this woman through her obstacle. Why not have her fight Nia Jax and Liv Morgan in a triple threat and come out as the winner?
Yeah, I have no idea what they're doing with Liv Morgan. It feels like very random. This is probably the most random moment of the year to me. It doesn't make any sense at all. I don't believe Liv and Becky were working any kind of programs previously. They slightly had maybe a couple of interactions this year, but nothing like there's no real heat there for this. Not that I remember. So it's like, what the hell are you doing here?
Put an obstacle. Put a roadblock.
They're probably doing this so they can protect Becky when she loses to Rhea Ripley clean at WrestleMania. They probably say, man, Becky had such a tough road to get to this match. She had to survive Nia. She had to survive Liv. Next week, they're probably going to send someone else after her. I guess we'll have to wait.
Yes, Becky is wrestling Rhea, but we're a few weeks away, folks. We need to put obstacles. Why not have her fight Nia Jax and Liv Morgan in a triple threat?
Oh, Khalib's saying it's just not believable. And, I kind of agree with him, man.
I don't know. You may talk about it past work, but this last night was very, very believable.
I think that's what their thought process is on this, though. They're like, listen, we know Rhea Ripley's not losing it, Mania, so we have to protect Becky. We have to protect our merch.
Okay, but Nia Jax is going to protect both of them next week. She's going to interfere, and she's going to protect Liv, and she's going to protect Becky.
Bottom line is, I feel like this entire. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. This entire storyline with the women's championship, Jay, it's all been very predictable. They planted the seeds with Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch so early. It's like you knew what was going to happen as soon as she didn't win the Rumble, and we saw it happen immediately. Andrade goes on to defeat Apollo Crews. Apparently, Apollo Crews didn't see that in one of his recent visions. He didn't see this one coming. My man Apollo Crews on Raw, and he's doing the job for Andrade. And by the way, the crowd didn't seem to give one crap about Andrade, which is crazy to me because he's absolutely awesome. Why is he not relating or translating to the fans better? Why aren't the fans giving this man the respect he deserves? Former NXT champion, he's paid his dues, went to AEW, came back. I mean, all these other guys, they went and did that, and look at them. Cody goes to AEW, goes in the Indies, kills it, comes back, he's a god. Andrade does it, and they handled him pretty well in AEW. He wasn't a jobber. He had good matches.
Well, one he's bilingual, and he even though he's improved on his English, is very slow, especially when he cuts a promo. 2, I don't even think this was a match. 3, I'm surprised Apollo Crews has a job. I thought they fired his ass. 4, this was just showcasing his skills. I don't even think this was a match, like I said on 2, but this was just showcasing his skills. Now you brought something great. Why is he not connecting with the crowd? Because I agree with you. First half of this match, he didn't connect with the crowd.
Not at all.
Towards the end, it came up a little bit. But I will say this. Why do you think? Now listen, and this is what WWE does great when they see great talent in Andrade. Why do you think Dom and Andrade are having backstage segments?
Oh, because there's a lot of money to make there.
Why is he not connecting with the crowd? Why not have him go and have a storyline here with the Judgment Day, seeing whether he's going to join or not?
Yeah, maybe. And maybe they're planting the seeds.
Because we love the Judgment Day.
They're planting the seeds.
This might bring some play, and maybe this will help him out.
I just got a question. What the hell does this guy have to do to start selling merch, start selling action figures, and get some gold around his waist? Because What do you think about the idea when Flair comes back, if he comes out with Flair and she comes out with him? What if they take on that power role couple and maybe that's his way to maybe get on Seth Rollins' level? Oh, you want to walk around with Becky? You're the man. You're the it couple. Nah, brother. My woman is the real deal, and so am I.
I think they got a better game plan here with the Judgment Day.
There's so many different storylines, man. It's absolutely crazy. But Apollo Crews taking the loss on it on Raw. Maybe he is the new Dolph Ziggler. We can't deny Andrade looks incredible. His DDTs.
Yeah, but nobody really cared. But.
No, you're right. You could see the crowd behind them. Although apparently there's a future WWE champ sitting in the second row. That kid is determined to make it to the WWE.
Got a long way, kid.
You got a long way, kid. You got a long way. Undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, the Judgment Day defeated Imperium. And this was probably my favorite match of the night. Classic, good, hard-hitting tag team action. Everybody looked good. Imperium looked good. Finn looked phenomenal. Damian looked strong as hell. I loved it. I thought Imperium came off strong, even though they lost. They're losing to a very powerful tag team.
Yeah, it was a good match.
I liked it.
I don't think I don't have a match of the night.
I'm not going to say match of the night, but it was my favorite match of the night. I like it was just a good, it felt like a good traditional tag team, hard hitting wrestling match.
This was good though.
Yeah, no, I was with it, man. If you missed it, you should definitely. This is the match you want to go watch if you missed Monday Night Raw. Great performance by everybody in the ring, and Judgment Day going into Mania as they should, looking strong. That should be the goal here, in my opinion. If you're the champions, whether it's IC, tag team, world champion, you need to go into WrestleMania looking strong. You got to make people think, damn, man, there's no way they're taking the titles off you because you just look so damn good. You look so damn strong. And they did a great job here with the Judgment Day. And then we get to Sami Zayn and Ivar. This is one of those matches where I got to say, last year's flavor, right? Last year, everybody was Usi. Everybody was an Usologist. I'm listening to his match right now. I'm watching him do his finishing move, or trying to. I'm watching him move around in the ring. I'm watching him try to hype up the crowd. The crowd is not behind Sami anymore the way they were last year. It's evident in this match. I could hear it. I could feel it. But, Jay, what did you see in here in this match?
I saw a good match.
It was a good match.
I saw that Ivar is really good in the ring, and I think a lot of people don't give him credit. But I will say this. If there's a gauntlet match to see who will face Gunther next week on Raw, if they give it to Sami Zayn, I'm going to turn off the Gunther IC match with Sami Zayn and not watch it at WrestleMania because I know they're building some corner. Oh, I'm losing all the time. I got to get my shot. But I think the most compelling story to sell is Chad Gable. And Chad Gable was in the backstage segment, which I know we fast forward that.
Well, I'm going to talk about it.
It's very compelling. He makes a case because he's not fighting for the title. He's fighting for more. And I think that key word, more, that they're throwing at us is a better sell than what they're throwing at us on Sami Zayn being a loser, losing all matches to finally getting some momentum.
Well, yeah, Ivar was, first of all, the only reason this match even happened is because Ivar was pissed off at Sami Zayn because he's in that IC title match along with Bronson Reed, JD McDonough, and a few others. But after the match, we have Mr. Bronson Reed coming out here and just dropping that tsunami all over Sami Zayn. And he's pointing at that WrestleMania sign. Great shot of tsunami, by the way. This guy's...
They're just teasing us.
But I think Gable's winning that match. I think Gable's going to win that gauntlet match. Next week on Raw, there's going to be a 6-man gauntlet match. And Gable has made a strong case all year long why he should be facing Gunther at WrestleMania. Because let's be honest, when it comes to a pure wrestling match, not many people in the WWE can deliver the goods like a Gable and a Gunther. That match is going to deliver. It should be a 30 to 40 minute absolute clinic, and hopefully Gable is the one. He can be. If Gable, I mean, we were saying this last month, 2 months ago. We said Braun Breaker should be the guy to beat Gunther. But you know what? If you had to pick right now, storyline wise and everything they've had, the history, you got to admit, Gable is the clear choice here. Gable should be the one.
And the fact that they fought before and lost, and he lost in front of his family, just says even more.
Yeah, well, good luck to Gable next week. I think he's going to win that match, and I think he's going to win the IC title at WrestleMania as well. He will be the one to beat Gunther. But Drew McIntyre would go on to defeat Jey Uso. Of course, some help from the Bloodline. These guys have a lot of heat because, as you know, Jey cost Drew the title at that Clash at the Castle or whatever that was. But here they are. This was also a very good match. And I got to give a lot of credit to main event Jey Uso. Here he is in the main event of Monday Night Raw, looking great. This is some of the best work he has done in his singles career. I like his swag. I like his promo. I like him coming down to the ring. The pop he gets, the fan inclusion, the way Pat McAfee's on the table. By the way, Michael Cole had horns on his head that what's her name? Valhalla gave to him, by the way. Apparently it was a big deal. They were making a big deal about it on Monday Night Raw. Pat McAfee. And I'm not a fan of this John Madden instant replay draw with a pen bullshit that McAfee does.
You gotta get Pat McAfee involved. You don't know no terms.
But what are we doing here? We got to pause the screen for 40 seconds while he talks and then writes things down. He needs to get a little better.
Yeah,
I expect
Pat McAfee
more.
is fun to have next to you, but let's face it, his commentary.
I expect more out of Pat McAfee. He needs to step his game out. The fact that they're giving him like the superstar treatment, that he can just come and go as he pleases and pretty much do and say whatever the hell he wants on the microphone. He was telling Michael Cole about deer juice on his face. Jesus Christ, man. They don't care what this guy says. They love him. And you know why they love him? Because he has the numbers. He has the social media following. He has a big podcast on ESPN and all over the world. And when you're a big superstar like Pat McAfee, or when you're a big superstar like Logan Paul, you don't need to go through the traditional crap. You just don't. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I'm going to become a big superstar ever before they ever want to come and approach me, because that's what's going to happen. I need to become a superstar first for them to approach me and say, we need you, because the people listen to you, Greek. Many people years ago told me, Jay, they said, people are going to listen to you. People are going to listen to you.
They're listening now.
Maybe there's 6 people listening now. Come back in 10 years, and if it's not 600 to 6,000,
Slade is listening.
I don't know what to tell you. Spencer,
Submission,
because we're going to get him to Monday Night Raw. But listen, Jay and Drew, phenomenal match. Solo comes out. Cody comes out, makes the save. Jay with a super kick on Drew. His brother comes out. I'm looking forward to that match as well. Jimmy versus Jey Uso will be a fun match at WrestleMania if they do it correctly. They need much more serious vignettes. These guys should be trying to kill each other, and then the family should be getting involved, trying to break this apart.
You said this was going to be a good match. Oh.
It could be. Drew McIntyre with a Claymore, Jimmy with a chair, and then Seth Rollins would come out and he'd try to be relevant.
This was good.
Yeah, no, this was a good way to end Raw. I think that's the picture of WrestleMania right there. Drew McIntyre's taking that title off of Seth.
Should.
100%
So that way
in front of the live crowd.
Well, Priest could cash it on Drew, folks. Let's not forget. Drew could win, Priest could cash, and Drew and Priest could feud for like the next 6 months or 3 months or whatever.
Shout out to Joe Shipley, who's making a good point that I forgot to bring up. Michael Cole did acknowledge Sting's retirement. And even Pat McAfee, he was like, "Oh yeah, what a great match last night."
They cut him off. He was about to say the whole shebang.
save the AEW talk for tomorrow, though. Okay, we have to get into NXT because I want to just get this out of the way so we can try to finish this show up.
Maybe.
All right, we have NXT coming up here. It's Roadblock. Lexis King would kick off the show with a nice little intro. They're making him look like a superstar. We move on to our first match. Okay, Dijak versus Joe Gacy in a steel cage street fight, all kinds of tools and things at their disposal. I actually like this match. Dijak looked like a beast. I had fun with this match. It was a fun match to open the show. The blindfold spot with the duct tape was cool.
You can't say it's fun if one wrestler is cold as ice, and that's Joe Gacy.
Oh.
His character is probably the worst thing I've ever seen in WWE programming. It's really bad, folks. It's worse than Dean Ambrose. Now, okay. I'll give guys credit. You weren't
happy with the match.
I give guys credit. Look, I give both guys credit. This should have been a horrible match, but they try to balance things out with the entertainment. So I'll give them the part. They entertain the people, but
what was this guy's name again on the right? I keep forgetting, and he's good. I got to remember his name.
Lucas something.
Lucas something. Anyway, he's now working for the Don. He joins the family.
I like it.
I got to remember his name.
This kicker wrestle.
He can wrestle. He can go. It was good stuff. What did we see here, Jay?
Well, this is interesting because real couple, what is this? Riley and Blair Davenport are actually engaged. So it's really crazy how they're using these two to be with Fallon Henley. Now, I've been saying for Henley, I don't know why they don't pull the trigger on Henley. I think they should have pulled it 2-3 months ago after she beat Tiffany Stratton. But that's here, there, or say. What I like about this, it sets up a match. I'm down, especially when it's Fallon Henley.
Now we're going to cut off NXT for this. All right, some breaking news. John Cena presents compelling reasons why he should be working in NXT. Apparently, he's trying to get into NXT sometime this year to work with the young talent and to really help them out. John Cena hints at a potential 17th WWE World Title run, and I'm sure that would probably follow his NXT run. I could see that happening 100%. They love him. He sells merch, and you know what? He's John Cena. He's an absolute legend. According to some people, he's the greatest of all time. Andrade proclaims an unstoppable domination coming after the recent Monday Night Raw. We'll have to wait and see. He might be waiting for his wife to come back for that to happen. Undertaker unveils his Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling, and he said it was Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, and Ric Flair. And not for their wrestling, but for their psychology. Great list. Paul Heyman previously rejected the opportunity to be in the Hall of Fame, so they already went to him for this, but he rejected it. Apparently, he accepted it this time. And Drew McIntyre confronted some CM Punk fans that were booing him outside of Monday Night Raw. And you got to love this kind of stuff here. Good job, Drew McIntyre. Keep up the good work.
He did his job.
Keep up the good work. Sting's retirement at AEW Revolution was mentioned during Monday Night Raw. And yes, that is breaking news. Vince McMahon over here unloads 5 million shares of TKO stock worth over $450 million. Rhea Ripley's Instagram account targeted in a hacking attempt. They're trying to hack mommy.
It's not even that great.
And Tammy Sitch claims fans seek autographed underwear to sell on eBay. I would love to meet that fan. What fan has to be this desperate? Jesus Christ, Jay. You couldn't pay me.
Saddest story I've ever seen.
You couldn't pay me to take one of her underwear.
You know, I remember when she was skinny. I remember when she was like this.
All right, these two are cutting a little promo about their match later tonight that they're going to end up losing anyway. Let's get to this tag team match where the Wolf Dogs looked absolutely incredible. Andre Chase, he looked a little better than he has in the last couple of weeks, but he's still not his typical self. Duke Hudson, though, is a stud. He looks like someone that can actually belong in the ring with a Braun Breaker, but at the end of the day, Braun Breaker does what Braun Breaker does, and the Wolf Dogs do what they do. Incredible teamwork, great action. They didn't catch this one all the way, but everything they did was money. All right. Deep six into the spear is a great way to set up their finish. You see Andre Chase just getting like abolished right there. And JC Jane's pissed off about this. Chase U's not looking too good. And this was them looking at Thea Hale, who was just spazzing out after they lost. She might be leaving Chase U. We'll have to see how that develops. Jay, real quick, less than 30 seconds. That match, what'd you think?
It was a great tag match of the night. I think Braun Breaker should use that back suplex clutter as his finisher because it's just awesome to see. Very explosive. Chase doesn't get a lot of credit. He did a lot of great selling, and he makes me buy into those hope spots, which is why I love this match.
It was a great match. I had fun with it. We see Carmelo Hayes in the back here preparing for his number one contender match later tonight. And we see Sean Spears making his way to the ring. He's going to have a match coming up, and he's taking on Dante Chen. Is that Dante Chen?
No, he's white, man.
Who is this?
He's got the same man. Connors.
Well, Connors got his ass kicked by Sean Spears, who came out and smashed this kid into oblivion. Need him in the face. Hit him with the devastating Death Valley driver that he calls the C4, I believe. And
there was a lot to uncover here, and I'll try to make it as fast as possible.
Rich Holland would come out after Sean would cut a little bit of a promo. And go ahead, give it to me, Jay.
I'm going to make it fast as possible. I'm not going to talk about Sean Spears' work or wrestling skills. We all get what he could do. We all know he's talented. But let's face it, when he grabbed the mic and the lights went off, it felt like he was just saying rehearsed lines, and he lost me. I don't know if he was trying to be a poet, an author, or Shakespeare. I don't know what the hell it was, but he lost me completely. And when Rich came out, he got booed, Savage and everybody. So what is that telling you? What I've been saying for weeks. That character, that stupid trigger they pulled with Ilya and that stunt with the neck, now the character is basically cringed.
Shout out to Andre Chase. His father passed away. That sucks, man. Rest in peace to him. That's not easy to work through. WWE has to pay $20 million to MLW. Okay, that's like spare change.
Why?
Who cares? Sean Spears did fall a little short on the mic tonight. You're not lying about that, Jay. But he did win his match in convincing fashion. I'm curious to see where this is going to go with Rich Holland.
This is where it's going.
All right, Briggs and Jensen, what'd you think?
I hated this because this guy was supposed to be heel, and now he's acting like a baby face. I hated it.
All right, now we move into this tag team match that I absolutely hated because I knew what was going to happen. There's no way. Kabuki. It was a good match, but I hated it because it was predictable. There's no way Kabuki Warriors are coming on NXT and taking a loss. So, when it's that predictable, how can I love it?
I love it because Tatum Paxley has improved and she's working with top Japanese stars. That's fair. That's fair. Kairi came back. She was the champion in New Japan and she gave it to Mercedes Moné. So she's fighting top Japanese stars and she hanged. And I liked it. And I thought it was a good match.
Khalib, I also thought Duke is much better suited on his own right here. I think they just wanted to see what kind of worker he was. That's probably they stuck him with Chase to make sure he's a team player, that he can go along. Because sometimes these guys come in with those solo gimmicks. They have these egos. Yes. So people test you to make sure that you can play on the same team. All right?
And can I make it fast? Because I know Roxanne Perez, everybody in the chat is talking about how she kind of just broke her arm or whatever. I think they pulled the trigger too fast on that. And they pulled it really fast, and that showed. That's it. That's Roxanne Perez's heel.
Well, I'll say this. That elbow drop looked incredible. I love that finish. And Roxanne Perez, incredible expressions tonight. Good for her. She looked actually fantastic tonight. Fallon Henley comes out. She has a match with Blair Davenport. Quick, Jay, what'd you think of this match?
It wasn't even a match. It was about
Ruka interfered.
That's what it was. It wasn't a match. It was about Sol Ruka. She's back. I'm glad she's back. So let's see what happens.
All right, you get a chance to meet Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins at WWE World during WrestleMania week. And there's a lot to talk about WrestleMania week, and we might as well get it out of the way now. You're watching the WWE Weekly update that we do every Tuesday night. Tomorrow night, the AEW Weekly update. I haven't been this excited to do the AEW Weekly update in a long time. We'll get back to AEW later. But Arrival happened. I told everybody, Savage and Slade, we're going to arrive and show everybody what suplexes and submissions were all about. And we did just that at Violence and Suffering. And next time we go there, we're going to show everybody even more violence and suffering. And now, a quick word from Slade and Savage to Mr. Leo Rush. Savage here with Spencer Slade, and we showed everyone in Elks Lodge, New York, exactly what S&S Incorporated is about. Slade and Savage, suplexes and submissions. And I heard over here, Mr. Leo Rush was talking about he's going to be the next world champion. I got bad news for you, Leo Rush. There's someone in front of you, and his name is Spencer Slade.
And I came here to BXS to steal the show, because I'm the best wrestler on the independents, the most spectacular athlete in all of professional wrestling. And I don't care if it's you, Leo Rush, or the best athlete that this business has to offer, you will fear the gear.
Don't forget it. Let's get out of here, Slade. This place stinks. So if you're out there, Mr. Leo Rush, we are coming for you. We are coming for you because you opened your mouth and talked about world championships. And in my opinion, you have no business talking about world championships. Just because you travel the world and wrestle everywhere that someone will pay you doesn't make you a number one contender. Spencer Slade is a prime specimen. And when
we got something in the chat.
Suplexes and submissions. Oh, we will slay Leo Rush. Slade needs promo work.
What do you say to that?
Slade doesn't need promo work. Slade can cut a better promo than anyone in the business as long as I'm next to him. And you know why? Because Slade has confidence that's not of this world. When you're born a naturally talented, gifted, suplex submission machine, prime specimen, if God was going to create a professional wrestler from scratch, it would look like Spencer Slade. And what I'm doing to him is I'm reprogramming him. See, because Slade, when I first met Slade, he was a really nice guy. Nice guy, stand-up guy. Nice guys don't get the job done. I have been reprogramming him to understand that he needs to become what he was born to become, which is a killer. And it's working. And little by little, Slade and Savage, by working together and continuing to grow and prosper as S&S Incorporated, by the time I'm done with Spencer Slade, he won't be recognizable to his own parents. That's just the way it's going to be. Yeah, stay tuned. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good time, and you can watch it all unfold here live on Wrestling with Savage. Merchandise coming very soon, maybe even a comic book. I don't know. This guy's going to be everywhere. I'm going to be everywhere. I'm this close to becoming best friends with someone who runs NXT. So it's a matter of time, my friends. It's a matter of time. You can sit out there, and you can hate, and you can talk shit. You can do whatever you want, but at the end of the day, I'll be the one writing the checks to the bad boys that you love to watch on TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, go give me some money. Go buy a Wrestling with Savage shirt. Go buy a Wrestling Universe shirt. You can go to the Wrestling Universe, meet stars like Rob Van Dam.
Yeah.
Look at my son right there, just getting that photo op with Katie Forbes right there. Photo of the year. Coming up March 17th, I'll be there. You can meet the faces of Mick Foley. Foley will be there. You can do the super combo. It's going to be.
We may have lost Savage, folks. But Jesus. Mick Foley, March 17th. You can get the super combo for $150 right there at WWE, www.thewrestlinguniverse.com. Go ahead and get those tickets. It's going to be selling like crazy. You don't want to miss. But let's face it. Let's go back to NXT. We see what happens after Quarter Crew Catch Club comes out. All the crew, Damien. We got Charlie Dempsey, who's William Regal's son. They all come out, all cutting a promo how they won the Heritage Cup, and how it means so much to them, and yada, yada. This has prestige and everything. And basically the no quarter catch crew clause basically means that they basically could get whoever, any member of the quarter catch crew club to basically defend the Heritage Cup. I'm glad the Heritage Cup went into these guys because there was a little backstage segment with Metaphor with Lash Legend and Omar Dar, and it seems like he's over that cup. Thank God. It belongs to these guys. The Heritage Cup is all about wrestling. Basically, they're about wrestling. They all grapple in all of them, in which whoever you want to put. So overall, it makes sense. And then William Regal comes out, which is probably the best thing that ever happened in this whole segment because they all lost me. I didn't really care.
Someone's getting fired.
There he is, Savage. You back? How you doing? But basically, William Regal was the best thing that ever happened to this whole segment here. Quarter Catch Crew cut nothing. We all know what they could do with the Heritage Cup because they announced it, but that was about it right there. And we may have some technical difficulty.
Yo, Jay.
Fine. Hey, he's back. Savage is back. What do you think? Quarter Catch Crew come out, Savage cutting a promo, basically saying any member could defend the Heritage Cup. That's what the clause means. William Regal comes out. Probably we haven't seen him in over a year and a half, maybe 2 years. How is your take on basically that? You get us back. But right now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you, Matty. We see you. You hear us?
Someone at Spectrum's getting fired, goddammit.
We got to blame the technical difficulty. A lot of production people, they go out, they go do crazy shit, and they kind of mess up. So don't worry, folks. But I'm going to get you covered right here.
I don't know what's going on anymore, but you know what? It doesn't even matter, Jay. We're going to
let's go to the main event. We're already at the main event.
No. We got to finish out this real quick. We got to finish out this real quick.
We're at the main event already. We're at the main event of NXT. Tony D versus Carmelo Hayes.
Listen, I'm back. Okay,
he's back.
We're going to finish this stupid weekly update, okay? Like I told everybody, go to the Wrestling Universe, buy my shirt, do all that good shit. But more importantly, at WrestleMania, okay? Wrestling Universe is great. But at WrestleMania, at the Sheraton Hotel, downtown Philadelphia, you can come on down during WrestleMania weekend at WrestleCon. I will be there. House of Heathens will be there. Marty Jannetty will be there. Tatanka will be there. The Black Dahlia will be there. Zaya Brookside will be there. Did I mention Marty Jannetty will be there? Savage will be there. It's going to be a sick time. It's going to be a good weekend. And I'm so sorry that Spectrum decided to shit on my service and ruin my promo. I was on a roll there. I was on a roll there. We were going to end this show.
Right. I got out of it. I used to work for them. So
tomorrow night, we're talking about Revolution. We're talking about Dynamite. We're talking about Rampage. We're talking about Collision. We're talking about all these different matches that happen. And I got to just give a shout out to these two gentlemen right here. So far, match of the year. And I told everybody that was match of the night. That match was fire. Match was fire. The match, the spots, the moves, fire.
We'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll talk
fire. Will Ospreay is a beast.
We're
going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about that.
I don't know
why. Talk about this.
Why?
But right now, let's just bang out NXT. We're watching NXT.
We're at the main event. We're at the main event.
Are we at the main event? Where did we leave off on NXT? We talked about Spears.
We already talked about the quarter cash crew coming out. And
we talked about this tag team match that was predictable. Bobby Henley, Blair Davenport. Yeah, so yeah. Heritage Cup. Heritage Cup. We'll talk about that again in a moment because they're going to come out. Good commercial for the video game, by the way. I love this commercial. One of the better ones they've made in a while. We saw this backstage. Ariana Grace refusing to fight Gigi Dolan. Gigi Dolan saying, but that's what we do. We fight people. What did you think about this?
Nothing.
All right. Sean Spears parking lot promo. Anything? Okay. Now, this was great because William Regal ended up coming out, told his son about how much he loves that Heritage Cup, you know. And his son went on to say, I will defend this cup better than you ever did. Shots out to his father. But it's just great to see William Regal back on TV. He came out to a warm reception. So, Jay, go ahead. What did you think about this whole segment between father and son?
I already covered it, but William Regal.
Oh, you covered it? Okay, we're going to keep it moving. How about this metaphor?
I'm glad they're over it. They're over the cup. Now he can move on and win some gold. He's over it.
Lexus King, he's being watched by Mr. Stone over here. Von Wagner.
You know, Von Wagner, folks, is so bad that they said, Robert Stone, you need to start wrestling now. That's sad. The manager of Von Wagner is now wrestling while Von Wagner is on the sideline. Jesus.
Yeah, Caleb, you be careful. You might end up catching that sleeper. My God. All right, main event time. Tony D, Carmelo Hayes. I told you Tony D would win. I love what he did playing that Trick Williams. He played that Trick Williams music, and he did exactly that. He tricked Carmelo Hayes, but at the end of the day, Trick was there. So I loved how Tony D was still able to pick up this win clean over Tony D. You know, maybe some tricks, but at the end of the day, he didn't hit him with a chair. He didn't hit him with a, he distracted him a little. But he's the Don of NXT. He's got pull.
You know, I'm very surprised they pulled the trigger on Tony D because he's been stuck in tag team for like the last 2 years.
Yeah, he's been stuck in limbo.
Wow, this was a shocker. I was really hyped when they played the Trick Williams song, but I was even more hyped after the match when Trick actually came out. He looked great, Savage. He looked great. I was into it with the fans. I was even cheering, whoop that Trick. And you could tell
he looks like he got even bigger.
Yeah, you could tell. Savage, the spin, he did that like Kofi kick, that Trouble in Paradise. It looked good. Everything he did looked good tonight.
He's on his way up, bro.
Wow. This match, I'm very interested in it. And
he's on his way up. All in all, NXT was good tonight. Raw was good. SmackDown was good. WWE has been on fire. We're on the road to WrestleMania.
Tony should be Dragon.
Make sure you tune in tomorrow night to watch us cover AEW, and then of course watch SmackDown on Friday because I guarantee you it is going to be fire.
But tomorrow's going to be more fire. We're going to talk about Sting match, and it's going to be controversial. You don't want to miss it right here.
Absolutely, yeah. We have a lot to say about that Sting match. It's probably going to take us half an hour just to cover all of that. But it kind of smells like, I guess, you ever smelled water from a garbage truck?
Water from a garbage truck.
Yeah, like when it rains, it fills the garbage truck with water, and it has a very distinct smell.
I cannot determine the smell at this.
It smells like a combination of ass and shit and sweat, and like throw in a couple of homeless people in there, corpses. Smells decrepit. We'll talk about it tomorrow night on AEW Weekly Review right here on Wrestling with Savage. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and if you see that bum tantalizing Tony, tell him he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, stop playing WWE 2K24. We don't care.
You guys
got early. I don't care.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, project you live as a champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.